Yeah, we'll go ahead. Good evening. Welcome to the Sunbury Parks and Rec Committee meeting. Today is October 1st. It's 5:30 p.m. We can get a roll call, please, Ms. Swain.
Mrs. Cooper.
Here.
Mr. Martin.
Here.
And Mr. Ghost is absent. Two present. We have four.
All right. Thank you. I'm looking for an approval on the September 3rd meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
I will second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper.
Yes.
2 yeas, minutes passed.
Thank you. Are there any visitors that would like to speak to the Parks meeting this evening? Seeing none, we will move on to our unfinished business with Johnny Appleseed. He looks so good.
He does.
He is like shining and like a welcoming. I feel like he's welcoming people in. Like he looks really good.
I was afraid people that were westbound there were gonna miss him. And I made a turn there a couple of days ago, and I thought, wow, he's right there. That was so cool.
Yeah.
It worked out just right.
It is. It
Are
was
we
a
gonna
really
be
good
able to
place.
put a light on it?
Well, that's our goal. That's the plan.
Okay,
We haven't started down that process yet, but.
all right.
That's the plan.
But he looks really good
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he looks good and the placement is good.
Yeah.
So there you go. Pat yourselves on the back for shooting. There you go.
Thanks, Amber, for taking all those pictures.
And I will say, I got a question today from the elementary school. They asked if there was enough room for them to go down and take a group picture now that he's back. And I said, absolutely,
Oh,
please.
yeah.
It's gotten a lot of interest. People are actually stopping to look at him. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe more interest than when he was.
Is there a plaque on him?
Yes,
Okay.
there's.
And our services team, they were actually able to get him placed on Johnny Appleseed Day, so. Yeah. They got him.
Couldn't have planned that.
perfectly.
That's awesome. It's a Johnny Appleseed Day.
National Johnny Appleseed Day.
Mhm. But yeah, so our next steps for the area, we are working on signage and branding for the city. So once we get a new park sign, we'll put that kind of down near Johnny. So that'll be kind of more of the official entrance of the park. Maybe adding a bench or two nearby. And we also have been made aware of invasive species that are within the park. So our next step would be reaching out, getting those taken care of, so clean up the park a little bit more.
Are we planting apple trees by him? Or are there apple trees, are they back there?
Yeah, so we had, I think it was a couple of years ago when Aaron Noblet went down there, I think, to take a look at the trees.
Mhm.
There aren't a lot of them that were healthy. There were a couple that were producing apples, but not a lot of them that were particularly healthy. So I think we did try to clear out some that were dead. So there are some apple trees. One of the things that Jake had suggested is that he did want to plant, if council and staff thinks that that's the right thing to do, to plant some apple trees around him. But we haven't started down that process yet, and we'll certainly work with Aaron Noblet, in terms of maybe trying to identify, a particular type of apple tree species or whatever the case might be. But yeah, I mean, long-term, we thought we would do that if you thought that that was a good idea.
Do council need to approve that, or is that an administrative?
I mean, I think that might be the type of thing that if the will of the Parks Committee were to proceed with something like that, as we're doing our tree plantings in the future, we just begin to kind of build that into the tree
Yeah.
planting process. Yeah.
Okay,
I like that idea. Do you like that idea?
I love that idea.
Well, then there you go. There you go. We'll tell Jake to keep going.
I know Mr. Ghost is not here, but I think he asked the question about the drainage improvements. We are still planning on doing drainage improvements there. Jake and his team have it on their schedule to do by the end of the year. They just haven't finalized a date yet, but we are still planning on getting out there and putting in some under drain and making some improvements to the path.
Cool.
By end of the year, did you say?
Yep, by the end of the year.
Anything else on Mr. Appleseed? Okay, let's talk about J.R. Smith, the park design and financing.
When we do this, take this. Yep. All right. So we've included in your packet just another copy of the master plan, so you can see what is taking place out there. It's been a little bit of time since we last spoke about where the park design is and financing. So maybe actually, Carla, why don't you just tell them a little bit about where we are with the design process?
Sure. So, right now on the schedule, we are currently at what is considered 60% design. However, I have on my calendar, October 8th, the 90% plans are due from Verdantis. So we should be getting those. With them being 90% plans, that means they've incorporated comments from us twice so far at 30% and 60%. We'll take another look at the plans, hopefully get those turned around in a couple of weeks, assuming there isn't anything major. I think one of the things that Alyssa and I were talking about was making sure that any mention of signage was taken out, since we do have a master plan for signage. So we are double checking the plans to make sure it's in sync with some of the other things we're doing around the city. And then we should be able to bid the plans out in November.
So one thing I will say with respect to the design, and I think we went over this just a little recently with the mayor when we were talking about the capital budget, is one thing that they're not designing at the moment is the connection to 37, right?
Yes.
Yes, but obviously we have the State Route 37 widening project that's happening here. It's happening right now. So we do want to get that incorporated. We do need to kind of work through them to get that connection incorporated into either this design or the 37 widening project. But so there's a little bit of uncertainty about how to do that, but there's a commitment to do that, I guess is the other point I'm trying to make.
That would just be like a walking path, not it's not meant for driving cars.
Yeah.
It's just
No.
meant for like a pedestrian.
It'll be like a shared use path, so
Okay.
a little bit wider, and connect the path that goes through the park to the path that'll go all the way up to the Ohio to Erie Trail.
So that,
Is that part not considered either, the part that goes up to the Ohio Erie Trail?
yeah, I don't think that is.
There's a small gap between this project and the 37 project. The 37 widening project starts at Morning Street, which is a little bit further south, kind of
Mhm.
across from a certified gas station. So that portion of it wasn't planned as part of J.R. Smith, and we weren't looking at it as part of the widening project, which is still under design. So that
Mhm.
37 widening project will be under design for the next year and a half. Construction doesn't go until 2027 for that project. But in order to make the connection, we'll go back and look to make sure that it connects closer to the Lions building.
So then I think you're asking the question about this piece right here. That is not being designed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the part further to the east
Yeah.
is not being designed.
As part of the J.R. Smith project, so. All right, so then a couple of updates, with respect to timing and financing, and so what you'll begin to see next. Carla and I were talking a little bit before this meeting. If all goes well, we do anticipate that the bid packet could be ready, should be ready in early November. So if we come back for the November 5th meeting, basically, button up anything that we need to do, hopefully not much, then we'll be ready to release the bid packet there in early November. And I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the process might be. So before the holiday season, be able to get bids back and see if we can't get a contractor under contract before the end of the calendar year so that they can begin work.
Yes,
Really?
depending on the contractor, there is underground work associated with the splash pad, and certainly the shelter house, some underground utility work, drainage pipes. These are the types of things that can be done in the colder months if a contractor got on board and could get them a little bit ahead of the game instead of starting in the spring. But ultimately, that depends on who we would have bidding on this and what their schedule would look like for next year, or possibly the end of this year.
One thing that would be really cool is once we're ready to start, we could have a groundbreaking and we could invite J.R. Smith to attend it.
Oh, yeah, sure. All right, we're putting that on the list as a list to coordinate. All right, great idea. Yeah, absolutely great idea. And then we can, when we're all done, we can do the ribbon cutting on the back end too. So so with respect then to financing, I Dana, Ms. Steffen and myself, we have a phone call on Friday with the city's financial advisor and the city's bond counsel as well, to go over the process for getting, the bond materials in front of the council. As a reminder, we're going to do a bank financing strategy as opposed to a